Everything you want to know about walking on fire. My name's Lisa Clifford. I'm a master trainer of firewalking and empowerment instructors, and I'm here to answer those questions. Number one, does firewalking hurt? It doesn't, and it doesn't feel the way I think you would imagine it to feel. Yes, you feel a warmth and a tingling in your feet. That's on the proviso that you have followed your firewalking instructor's teachings. If you don't, then you will feel like you are walking on fire. So absolutely pay attention. It can feel a bit like, I guess the closest sensation is like walking on gravel that is hot. And the key is, follow what your firewalking instructor says. And I know this goes without saying, and you will have the most amazing, blissful experience. Number two, what's the secret to walking on fire? Well, for me, it's all about focus. It's about intention and attention. When you are unfocused, then that's when you feel it. And it's true to life, isn't it? When you put focus and meaning into something, then you glide through whatever it is you're doing. Apply the same focus, the same intention and attention to walking over coals, and you'll glide over it. Number three, how do firewalkers not burn their feet? Science would say that the coals have a layer of ash around the outside that prevent the conductivity of heat reaching the bottom of your feet. And then the pace in which the firewalker walks over also eliminates the potential of any burns. I have seen that debunked. I have seen people walk over with the focus and the intention that we've discussed earlier, being purposeful and not feel a thing. Drop that focus, go back round, walk over as it's just an act at a pace, and get a fire kiss. So my suggestion is follow your instructor's teachings, walk over with purpose and intention, and in a style that is intentional. Number four, is firewalking healthy? Oh yeah, it absolutely is. It's healthy for your soul, your spirit, but your mindset, knowing that you have that courage, debunking limiting beliefs that have been getting in your way, blocking your life. Getting rid of stories that you've told yourself that you now know are not true. So for that alone, it's incredibly healthy. What's the purpose of firewalking? Oh, it depends who you're talking to. For many, the purpose is about reclaiming confidence that's maybe been squished down from childhood or just circumstances in life. For others, it's a very spiritual, sacred, soul-connecting experience. And for me, I get to demonstrate how we raise our energy vibration frequency to meet what we want in life. And that the fire, we always have to meet the fire where it's at. And what a great lesson for life as well, to raise who we are in alignment with the goal. It's healing. It's purposeful. It's being used for manifesting, for clearing the way, for getting rid of unhelpful behaviours that have got in the way of us being happy. So it depends what you want it to mean, because it will meet you there and you have to meet it where it is. And the next one's a practical one. What do you wear at a firewalk? Excuse me. So first thing to know is there's likely to be smoke. So wear something that you don't mind if it smells of smoke. There's a few practical things to think about. No scarves that are floating around, no tops that float, and no skirts that are to the floor where they're going to touch the coals as you're walking over. If it's more winter time, then your waterproof jacket in the evening needs to be not one that is a thin, melty plastic one. I can't think of the word, but one that's a bit more durable, because even though you won't be going near the flames, there is a heat that comes, a temperature that comes from the fire that has the potential to melt anything that is thin plastic type jackets. And then for your bottom half, jeans is always good, because jeans is like a protective layer on your legs, and practical, isn't it? And then in terms of your feet, what I recommend is that you bring footwear that you can slip in and out of. So when you walk down to the fire, there'll be an area that you leave your shoes. And so something that's easy to get your feet out of. And then when you're finished, to put your feet into. And of course, it goes without saying, when you get home, I bring wet wipes so that you can wash your feet with the wet wipes before you put them back into your shoes. But if you don't choose that option, when you get home, remember to clean your feet before you walk over your cream carpet. How hot is the fire? Well, it's between 1200 and 1600 degrees of Fahrenheit, which sounds very hot, doesn't it? And it is, because it is fire. It's not meant to intimidate you. It is there to align you, to get your focus, so that you focus in a way that you never normally do in life, you never normally have to do. But you are forever the recipient of such brilliant learnings, the courage, the resilience, just what a metaphor for life firewalking is. That you can even walk on fire when you show up, every part of you, with respect, with focus, with intention, with purpose, with attention, and walk decisively forward into your goal. So anything is possible. Can anyone walk on fire? Absolutely. If you come with an open mind, an open heart, a belief that anything is possible, you're just going to get taught, how do I need to focus and pay attention? But if you do have any health concerns, then do check out with your doctor first, so that you feel confident that you're taking steps forward that are good for you. What are the risks to walking on fire? Well, the fire is hot, but the biggest risk is not believing in yourself. And that's the beauty, isn't it? That it requires you to remove the noise, the stories, the limitations, and see who you truly are underneath all of that. So your self-belief and your belief in the action you're going to take and the purpose is unveiled. So once you learn to believe in yourself, then you're forever free. And the fire was the key to unlocking your freedom. Do I need to train to walk on fire? You don't need any specific training as a firewalker when you come to an event. You will get your full briefing and teachings from your Firewalking instructor. And every Firewalking instructor is different. So their workshop, their seminar, their experience will be different. But as long as you show up and you pay attention and you come with an open heart and an open mind, that's probably part of the training, isn't it? How often do we go into something already deciding what our experience is going to be? The teachings from the fire, one of the teachings is make a decision from being in the moment, not deciding you will or you won't in advance. So you don't need to do any pre-training. You just show up with an open heart, open mind, pay attention and fully immerse yourself into that particular firewalking experience. And then be open to seeing, what do you now know about yourself? And what can you duplicate in your life that will help you have more experiences that you want, or more habits that you want, or more peace in your mind? What is a firewalk? Well, I'm going to paint a picture for you and I'm going to share with you what it can do. So it's a fire that's made out of logs and made out of wood that then burn down into a pile of coals. We then take those beautiful coals and make a path that you take steps over. Before you take any steps over the the path of coals, you will be in a workshop, a seminar, an audience, you'll be getting a briefing, and hopefully you'll be getting an experience where you make the experience mean something to you, that you give it purpose. Yes, you'll be taught the action of how you walk over the coals, what you think, what you feel, the steps that you take. But I think the medicine is in, what does this mean to me? And then the Firewalk is designed to give you a transformational experience where you get to meet a version of you that either you've abandoned or that you've been growing into. You get to let go of storylines that this experience is now proven are not true. You get to break through limiting thoughts that have held you back. And you get to embrace what you now know to be true about you. And that you'll have a model, a success model in your mind that you can duplicate over and over and over again in any situation where you have an outcome in mind or an experience that you want to have. But firewalking removes the layers that don't belong to you, that you're done with, and strengthens the core of who you truly are. It's life-changing, it's mesmerising, it's transformational, it's powerful, it's empowering. And each one will feel like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's unforgettable. Can a charity raise money by booking a Firewalking instructor for the evening? Absolutely. Many charities in the UK have benefited massive funds from people taking the challenge of walking over fire and raising money in their communities. Each Firewalking instructor runs it slightly differently, and so you would be advised to speak to the one that most resonates with you, that's going to give your group of fundraisers not only the opportunity to raise money, but they get the opportunity to have a transformational experience themselves in the process of doing it. So the charity gets the money, the end service user gets the benefit, and the actual fundraising person gets to have a transformational experience. It's an incredible way to raise money for your charity that lasts a lifetime, not just for you, but for the fundraiser too. Can the firewalking and empowerment experience be beneficial to companies? Yes. Teams massively benefit. And there's something, whilst it isn't, I wouldn't say it's team building, but I think it's team bonding in the sense that everybody is united in their own version of needing to raise their courage to break through fear, that we're kind of all stripped of our job titles, our importance, and we all become equal. And in that is that shared bonding experience where as each person walks over the fire, we know the courage that it takes to do it. And so therefore we have that kind of empathy, that kind of compassion for every single person that goes over. But what happens in the business afterwards is the model to walk over the coals, they then can duplicate in their role. The level of focus, meaning, purpose, intention, attention, the way in which they held themselves, the way in which they took decisive, purposeful action, the way they were clear about what the outcome is. That model isn't reinventing the wheel in any way whatsoever, but is incredibly duplicatable and beneficial to high performance results. If you're a company and you don't want the firewalk, what else can you do? Well, within particularly my firewalking and empowerment toolkit, if you like, there is the arrow break experience. So we have the empowerment exercises that, when taught in a meaningful way, can give teams lasting impact, lasting healing, lasting success models that's duplicatable in the business, as well as it being team bonding. So there's the arrow break. Then there's a rebar bend, which just totally defies logic, which often is what we need in business, isn't it? Where our logic limits what's possible for us. And where if you have a model of thinking that even allows you to bend the bar, then you take that model of thinking and duplicate it. The board break, about breaking through blocks that on the outside look impenetrable, but when you have purpose and action aligned with that purpose, you break through anything that gets in the way that is an unnecessary block. And then there's the walking on broken glass. That way in which we become really present, that is so valuable in today's world because we have so many distractions, or should I say, expectations that may have come from ourselves, where we think, right, well, whilst I'm sending this email, I can do this other thing and I can do this other thing. And that our mind becomes conditioned to thinking that we have to be doing multitasking, which doesn't exist. The mind cannot hold more than one thing in it at the one time. And what the glass walk does is shows us how we can get really, really present with the unfamiliar, with the discomfort, and how we stay with it rather than race through it or do the affirm out of it. How we can be really present, know the risk, know the danger, but also take a step at a time in a really mindful way. All of those exercises are incredibly powerful to teams, to people's personal growth and development, to each person's mindset and how they think. But you have to pick your trainer, because not every trainer teaches the purpose. They can take you through the exercise, but make sure you get a trainer that can take your company's vision and infuse it into the training. So if you're thinking of booking a Firewalking instructor, a great company will bring everything that will protect your ground and have all the safety precautions in place, ready for your group to have the most magical experience. The evening is made up of two separate teams that are one team. So there's a team that builds and looks after the fire and fire tends and clears up. And there's a team that is dedicated to all the participants, to the arrival, the signing the disclaimers, to the workshop, the seminar, the briefing, the teachings, and the fire experience. So your Firewalking instructor company will bring their entire team all of the materials needed for the most amazing, magical evening. And they'll be insured. So if I've missed a question, then please drop it in the comments and I will happily make another video that will answer your question. I would love it if you found this helpful, if you could like the video, share it and subscribe to the channel. Clicking the ring bell button to make sure that you're notified of any upcoming videos. I hope it's been helpful and I hope you love your firewalking experiences. Lots of love.
Get on that training right now. I want to do it again. Yeah, just absolutely do it. It's the best thing that I've done, and I've come out of this fully embodying my role as a Firewalk instructor. I feel so confident.